What's up, everybody? It's Dr. CI, and welcome back to video 4 of our learning series. It's going to be talking to you today about confirmation bias. Remember, I usually start out every video with defining the topic. So let's start with, what is confirmation bias? Confirmation bias is a form of unconscious bias in which human beings usually seek out new information to prove something that they already believe and feel that they know. So that could be you going to a news station that you usually watch, or reading a conservative magazine, etc., that proves a belief that you have about a certain issue, view, or group of people, or even an individual. And why do we do this? Why do we have confirmation bias? Well, first is because the world often teaches us to operate in binaries, right? Story is either one way or the other. You're either liberal or you're conservative. You're either gay or you're heterosexual. And see, when we have these issues when it comes to our social identities and we think in those binaries, it's hard to think outside of that box that might exist. So what we have here is a two-dimensional way of thinking about a certain issue, when we need to be thinking a little bit broader and on a spectrum, and not just left versus right of that polarity, etc., or beginning versus end of that polarity. What often happens in confirmation bias, and the reason that we as human beings will argue to no other end, is because we don't want to look foolish. And we think that if somebody proves us wrong for something that we believe, we will come out looking like the ass in an argument. Well, I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's always about progression and never about perfection. It's impossible for you to be the perfect human being. So when you think about confirmation bias and somebody correcting you or disproving a theory that you have that you think might make you look uneducated, I want you to change the way that you think about that and think about the fact that you are unlearning what it is that you know and becoming more educated, right? Now, often in an argument, when we as human beings get into conflict verbally with someone, you know what we want, and the reason why accidents happen? We want somebody to believe what it is that we believe. And that's why we argue, because we haven't created the space to listen to one another. And so when we do that, we block out someone else's opinion, even if it's based on facts. In an argument, most human beings don't want to hear facts. They don't want to hear truths. They want people to confirm what it is that they already believe. And that is where confirmation bias exists. It manifests and it is rooted within that space. And so my goal today is to get you to think about a topic very differently when you are discussing it with someone else or learning about it yourself. You should be able to pick holes in it. You should be able to think differently about it. You should be able to write and look for different facts. So I have an assignment for you. My assignment is, I want you to write down a topic that you have an issue with. So for example, it could be taking a knee. It could be racism, it could be sexism, it could be homophobia, it could be something political. And I want you to go look at 2 different opinions and see what they say. So first though, write down your own opinion of what you believe about that topic. And then after you've done that, I want you to go look for an opposing view and write down the facts that they have presented. Then I want you to compare them to yours, and then maybe even look for a neutral party and write down the facts of what that person or group of people have stated, just to see what lies in between. And I'm not saying that everything is based in truth or everything is based in fact, and a lot of it might be rooted in bias. But the goal of this exercise is to help you distinguish where that may be manifesting. And remember, it might be manifesting with you, because all human beings have biases, a good, bad, conscious, and unconscious. So what I want you to do is to evaluate yours against someone else's. So remember, take the assignment, look in our description underneath the video, because we'll have more resources for you to talk about confirmation bias and how you can navigate that. And also leave some comments so we can learn and grow with you. Looking forward to seeing you soon.